Welcome to a magnificent journey into the past. This is medieval time!
Oh, the dragon's balls ablaze, and as I stepped into his cave, then I sliced his fucking cockles with a long and shiny blade.
I am she, the my deadly mandolin.
I'm a wizard. When we play, we go all night, eating Twizzlers. Got my spellbook piled high, learning new tricks, shooting lightning to the sky. Roll a d6.
Her gold blonde hair spills past her alabaster shoulders like springs of honey mead. Her full, ample breasts are barely covered by a sheen of magical elven chainmail. Leather leggings hug her butter-supple loins.
I want to have sex with her.
So, you're walking through the forest and... What? A forest? We were in a dungeon. And what about the evil wizard who was zapping everyone? He's done. What? He's done zapping. Now move along. So, you're walking through the forest. Dungeon. Okay, dungeon forest. Whatever. You're walking along. And you're walking...
But that's a burden you choose to bear when you can bend the very laws of reality with the power of your imagination. That's a gift to be respected and feared.
He was 10 years old when his cousins introduced him to a game, Dungeons and Dragons.
As I was killing things, killing people, animals, the more I played Dungeons and Dragons, and the more I got involved in Satanism.
I'm telling you, these people are Satanists. As I sit here, they are Satanists. Look, the world is full of these kind of things. Look at this. Black masses, mutilations, mutilation. It's still real to me, damn it! Once they get in here, it's over, pal.
It's the most epic opening of any show I'm on.
What's up, everybody?
It's
Professor said, break out the Twizzlers.
Danny, are you wearing a shirt that's made out of fruit roll-ups?
Fruit roll-ups?
That's from on the camera. It just looks like kind of like a leathery.
It has a strange matte
like,
reflection to it.
It's a very fine like silk type shirt.
Okay,
looks comfortable.
I like the fruit roll-ups better. Let's pretend.
I had a fruit roll-up the other day. That's just funny.
Let's pretend it's a pumpkin flavored fruit roll-up shirt.
Is there pumpkin flavored?
There is now.
And you're wearing
the shirt's maroon.
You're wearing the only version of it.
That shirt is not maroon on camera. That shirt is
it's like dark
rust.
tan. Rust, yes.
Yeah,
rust.
burnt umber.
Audience, Sean.
Burnt.
We need to color check.
Congratulations, you are ghosty.
Professor.
That's better.
Yeah, that is weird. It's definitely, it doesn't look anything like what it does on camera in real life, like at all. It looks closer to Nola's shirt than it does what you're describing.
Because it looks like a strawberry fruit roll up.
Yeah, it's like I'm trying to think of what kind of maroon it is. Anyway, we are down to Caroline right now. And Caroline will be joining us in a while. So we're gonna hang out and shoot the shit a little bit because we didn't want to go too long. There's J2, who I was actually getting ready to mention. Because J2 will not be able to watch us tonight, and unfortunately, we won't be able to watch him either. But he has a new show with panel surfing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool!
And I want to give a very special shout out to him because I am happy and proud of him for getting into a part of a show that fits his needs and desires in the comic world.
What is the channel?
Jeremy,
Low Grades.
The Low Grades, yes.
Low Grades. All right.
Yes.
Oh, I've seen that. I didn't realize that was the.
They are doing their first live right now.
Sweet.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
and Copy 801 is also doing live right now, I think.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Copies is, I think, 9, and then 9:30 is
it's too
the
bad
Low Grades.
It's too bad on StreamYard that we can't go barge into Copy's room and all of a sudden show up on his show and wreck it.
That would be great.
Why not happen on Spine Takes?
I was going to say, maybe we could bribe the guys who run StreamYard.
YouTube terrorism.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody, please, if you're watching this, check out Low Grade. J2's a cool guy if you guys don't know him, and he's gonna be doing things his way from here on out. So,
or the highway.
I think he took the highway actually.
You definitely took the high road.
So Professor says that he's going to be Caroline for a while.
Well, Caroline's getting set up, it sounds like.
Yeah. I'm not sure how that would exactly work, Professor, but I appreciate it.
Sounds like it's something he's been thinking about for a while.
Has to enjoy shopping.
The low grades?
Yeah.
They don't have it up yet. Oh, okay. There it goes.
Pause.
So I think, yeah.
Live at 10.
Oh, I pushed back. All right.
So I know something.
We could
maybe we
day
could do. Don't hold
Talk
your
about
breath.
craft soda.
Yeah, so how is that one? I've never had that one.
That's all right.
I think Dad's and Brown are the only ones in that I've had before.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't taste very sarsaparilla-y.
I wonder what soda Caroline's going to have tonight, because she said she's going to make sure she only drinks soda during D&D now.
That's the type of healthy program we're looking to encourage, you know?
That's right.
Well, Lewis has a box in the
I have
mail.
two
so-
that I'm trying out.
What's funny is Lewis may end up drinking his quicker than Caroline because he's probably not going to follow that.
Oh, yeah, I don't care. I've got Mandarin Lime and a Ginger Ale. Both by Hanson.
Nice.
Well, I'm glad to know you guys all have something because today I'm doing water.
I have a smoothie and then water.
Water actually sounds really good.
I like how
I'm
Phil's like showing us like his credit card information.
Water sucks.
We were talking earlier about D&D Beyond, and this is their website.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about character sheet management, and that Nola has a subscription here, and it does all the math for him when it levels up, things like that, equipment lists.
Yeah, if you need some help figuring it out whenever you do it, just let me know, Phil. We can walk through it.
I think I actually a long time ago used the official Wizards application, the makers of D&D, the new current makers of D&D. I still want to say, I forget what the old publisher was now.
TSR
company. Yes. Anyway, I was just looking at the pricing. For 1 year, it's $26, or you can pay monthly $3 a month. So,
hey, before you sign up, have you finished yet?
I haven't even started. I just
Okay.
have the page.
So this is what you need to know before you sign up: is that you have to have access to the books through them. So for example, if you're creating a character class that isn't in the player's handbook, you have to buy the book that is in.
So
and you're going to have to buy a player's handbook through them.
Oh shit!
So I forgot to mention that part of it sucks.
See, I own the player's handbook I bought at the beginning of the session, and then I bought the boxed set that contained the foil boxed set.
That's funny you bought that because unless you're planning on DMing, there's no point in having that.
You know me. I buy games I have no intention of playing just to read through their rulebooks.
No, that was a hint that I want you to be DMing it.
Yeah, I took it the other way. Anyway, and then I'll have to buy this one. I guess
You might be able to talk me into that, Danny.
I would love either one of you because out of all our group, I think you two are the most apt to do it. Not dissing on these guys. Some guys or girls just don't want to ever DM, and I understand that. But like you guys, I can like see it in.
Yeah, for me, it's a time issue, and now that I'm
we don't have to do it like we're doing it now, you know, and you know what I mean.
Well, for me, the time issue is not in the actual playing. See, the actual playing is all the time I have. It would be, for example, the researching and getting ready to run.
Sure, I understand it.
Yeah,
I'm much more into the hobby of it, so that's easy for me to pull. But I get it.
And it would be after I moved, if I move.
And that doesn't mean you couldn't do a one shot for us.
It's my like summer adventure, I think. Well, that's true.
I would really like for Princess Unicorn to. Well, I mean, she has run a one shot, but I would like to play in one of hers.
You guys did kind of a behind the scenes game, didn't you, with her?
Yes.
How did that go? Was that fun?
Yeah.
See, now's here we go. That sucked. I couldn't stand it. We left early. There was a big fight.
It was all behind scenes, so you'll never know.
Right.
Well, it was a whole different system, so it was learning that was.
Oh, it was.
I don't know where I put I had the paper around here somewhere.
It was using a D6 system. Phil, it was closer to what you're used to from way back.
Okay.
It was much more like that.
Oh,
right? Nola?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2d6 and 2? No, you start with. Sorry, wow. My head is thinking about another game. You have a pool of dice, and then you have, depending on what you're doing, you have traits that give you dice, and you have roll. It's like what, over 4 gets you like a success or something, and you have to have so many that match the challenge rating.
So basically, on a die 1 through 6, to be successful, if it's easy, you roll you have to roll 2 or more higher than the number that's set, or and progressively. And you start off with let's say 7 die, 7 6-sided die, and then you have a bonus pool of die which you can replenish by doing certain things and that sort of thing. And your character doesn't have any number-based stats; he just has traits.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever you're describing whatever it is you're trying to do, if you can apply one of those traits that your character has, you're allowed to use one of your bonus dice to help you complete the roll and that kind of thing.
Hey, there's our princess of roleplay.
Whoa.
I made it.
I can't see her, though.
From Over the Rainbow?
That is something that a guy cannot get away with doing.
I think you just.
Wait,
no,
I
did not get away with that.
It's my signature move. I mean,
Cool. Well, it's no big deal that everyone was late today. No, really, it isn't. I want you guys to think of this as literally session 0 2.0. Oh, excellent. Let's get a taste test
nice.
before we say another
I
day.
gotta get my shit together. I just got real quiet.
Everyone's waiting.
I have visions
Oh,
of
that's good.
Dr. Pepper with real sugar going through my head. I need to get off that site immediately.
You do spend all your money on that.
I spent all my money last Tuesday. It will be arriving Monday.
So that's 3 out of 6 wins for you then.
That's dangerous. Yeah.
There's actually a very interesting documentary about Dr. Pepper, and there's a very particular Dr. Pepper that is brewed in a small area of Texas. And they had their own kind of thing for a very long time, and they are kind of in constant battle with the Dr. Pepper corporate company. And it's actually a really cool story if you're ever intrigued by it.
You know that I am.
That's super interesting.
I mean, come on.
Mr. Pibb was telling me that earlier.
So here's my thought. I have a very peculiar relationship with Mr. Pibb and Dr. Pepper. Because I will take obviously there is different variations of carbonation and how things, you know how there's sometimes they're just not mixed right, or they're mixed really well in the machines,
Mm-hmm.
I will take a medium Dr. Pepper, medium well mixed Dr. Pepper over an average Mr. Pibb for sure. Like the average of both. I'll take an average Dr. Pepper over an average Mr. Pibb. However, I will take a perfect Mr. Pibb over a perfect Dr. Pepper. I think that the upper limit of what Mr. Pibb is capable of is better than Dr.
Interesting.
I don't know if I've ever had Mr. Pibb.
Are they?
I've had Mr. Pibb, but I never go out of my way to have it.
Is Mr. Pibb a Dr. Pepper competitor?
Yeah.
That's what I think of it as. And
it is.
You say that 3 times.
They're both technically cherry sodas, actually.
Really?
Is Dr. Pepper an independent company, or are they owned by Pepsi or Coke?
Dr. Pepper was originally, I don't know about originally, but at one point owned by Pepsi, and Pepsi was hemorrhaging money, so they sold them to the Snapple Group.
Interesting.
To hell with Mr. Pibb. He isn't a doctor. It's Sean.
He's my doctor.
No one asked what Dr. Pepper was a doctor in, though.
Impersonated one once on TV.
All right. So
this is no longer D&D. This is Craft Soda and
before Caroline joined us, just to give her up to speed, we just gave a big shout out to J2 because J2 is of course starting his new show tonight.
Yes.
So I just wanted to make sure you knew that we were giving credit to where credit is due for one of our favorite homies. And we're about to start something big. Like I said, we're going to do, this is going to be like a session 0 2.0. So remember how we did the session 2 after, or session 0 after Sith got off when we finished the Star Wars game, and we kind of just introduced the world. Well, we don't have to do like the whole, hey, what is your expectations thing, because it's still the same thing. But we're going to kind of structure things, and we're going to give background to our characters and kind of show where we're at in the world now, and introduce this new storyline that doesn't necessarily involve the adventuring school, although things will still apply with the adventuring school. So we probably will get in and play around in the world a little bit too, of course, but I don't expect it to go too deep tonight or anything like that.
Yeah.
So we're going to start where we all left off. You guys went to the Blue Mountain and you healed Morgana and Kyo, and you met the dragon who is the reason why the mountain had its mystical power. And he asked for the saint, or the cleric of St. Cuthberg, Morgana, to watch over him as he reincarnates in this new egg. And she took off the egg, and Lessard and Kyo went off into the world to do his own thing. And the rest of you all returned to Northridge, where you have your little clip-on things that show that you're graduates of the adventuring school, and there's nothing more they can teach you. And upon returning, one of you, I would assume would be Wolfreen, told that, Lessard wasn't coming back, and that Laneige had a letter on his desk that was for him saying, if I don't survive, you're now the commandant of the school. But Wolfreen lets him know that, hey, he did survive, but all that still applies.
He didn't want to come back here and tell you himself.
Yeah, because he said that the world is his oyster, and he needs to.
Yeah. It's taken him
He's got
5
20
minutes.
years of love he's missed out on.
Yeah.
Well, the teacher's retirement fund is kicking in, and
that was kind of a thing that was mentioned early on too. That's just funny. So the group got back, and they kind of spent their last few weeks together at the school, knowing that they're all going to go on and do their own things. Wolfreen remains wizard of the school, and a new class of people are coming in and joining the other students, and things have gotten back to normal since the vampire attack. So everything's kind of functioning great there.
We're replenishing
Laneige is running the show, and young Richard has been made corporal. And yep. So before everyone kind of disbanded and went together, the group accompanied Ulfgar to Kundrakar. And he was able to tell the tale of what he did to help. Why don't you kind of explain how that went? Tell us, Ulfgar, when you went to Nymeria with your quest completed.
we returned to Kundrakar, and we told the tales of our exploits in the Blue Mountain. And you all were kind enough to vouch for me that I didn't back out of anything, and showed some level of selflessness. So Nymeria made good on her proposal.
What else did she do? What did she give you as a wedding gift?
As a wedding gift, she gifted me a special axe with pretty cool, unique powers. So I can chop enemies up close. I can also throw it and command it back to my hand, or after throwing it, hold my hand out and be pulled to wherever it was.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
You got a Jedi on the squad now.
So,
okay, and maybe you could tell us what you and Nymeria have been up to these past 2+ years. It's been a little over 2 years since you guys returned to Northridge.
Making baby wars.
So over the last 2 years, we've tried to bring glory back to the Dwarven Kingdom of Kundrakar. Nymeria has made me her husband and the king, and we've 2 sons, Bebop and Rocksteady.
Amazing.
And as much as I love the domestic life, the thirst for blood and a bigger monster to hit with an axe is still always there.
Oh,
So
shit.
Ulfgar even personally leads some of his motorcycle troops at times to patrol the lands between Gundurkar and Iron Oasis.
So the entire western half of the map, as you guys know it, has had a bridge diplomatically together between Iron Oasis and Blasingdale and from Seeker City on, basically over to the west. They kind of unified, and they have set up a patrol, like he said, of bikes that can go out there. So no more of this goblins attacking random towns or kobolds or orcs, all that kind of stuff. There is safety on the high roads now because of what King Ulfgar put together.
And Ulfgar's angels will keep you safe. It's not even just dwarves. We accept most races into the kingdom as long as they are brave and willing to go out there and keep those who can't protect themselves safe from big old monsters.
And there's an ongoing thing that you're working on too that you've had a lot of success with up in the northern regions. What have you guys been doing? You and your new founded army.
We've been trying to clean out all the orc hideouts and any other big monsters that are up there. Make sure there's no more vampires lurking in the forests. And we are searching for the biggest and baddest monsters out there to go after them before they come to our little slice of paradise.
Cool. You're basically like the guy who graduated college, got married immediately, and became vice president of a major company.
or Leif Erikson, but either way, it's all good.
Cool. Okay, so we will certainly get back to where you're going next, what we talked about, because Lewis has one piece of information that no one else has.
Ooh.
So we're going to turn our attention over to Talia to explain what happened after the wedding. You guys came back to Northridge, and you guys kind of all had to do your parting, and Ulfgar was, you left him at the Gundurkar, and you guys were back there, and it came time to go. So tell us what happened.
So when it was time to go, myself and Miriam said, "Peace out, homies. We're gonna go adventure the world together," and that's what we did. And we joined an espionage guild along the way, being sneaky and paying attention to the sneaky snooky stuff. To join the guild, we had to offer Miriam up as bait to save the other children of royalty, and basically I just went in and started murdering after I followed her there with my invisibility cloak and sneaky shoes. I wrote a book about our adventures. It is
Volume
very
1,
popular.
because
Volume 1.
This
Volume
contains
1
her life growing up with Bean and the year at the adventuring school.
It is widely published and known throughout the world at this point, I think we agreed upon. And I'm still curious about that hand. I followed a lead. It was a dead end, but I found some goodies, so that's fine, sort of. But I'm still really curious about it. Oh, so I went to I don't remember, what was it? South of Iron Oasis?
It was further south beyond Iron Oasis to an even more arid desert place.
Yeah, it was basically this one place that I had thought maybe it could be because I'd read about it in a book, and then it was wrong. The knowledge had failed me.
But you guys found a lot of treasure.
Yes, we did find goodies.
By the way, dead end is a fantastic way to describe a lead of a mummified hand.
There were mummies there, so just not the mummy.
Okay. And when you guys left town, basically you fired up the motorcycle, and Miriam jumped on the back, and the rest of them just kind of watched them right out of town.
Goodbye, boys.
Yep, not to be
also,
seen.
I've been keeping in contact with the Rune via letters.
Yeah, that is true. You've been training Miriam in your roguish ways, also.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
So Caroline, from here forth, will be running Miriam. I will still roleplay her in situations like that, but I will do everything that Caroline wants that character to do, and she will be running her in combat situations. So think of Miriam as almost
What
like a human
happens?
familiar for her. And she can send her on tasks away from the group, too.
Yeah, I can make her go do things.
Okay. All right. Cool. So now we're going to go over to Phil. Phil, shortly after Talia and Miriam took off on their motorcycle, he went solo, just right out of town, opposite road. And what have you been doing these last couple of years?
By the way, are we meeting up to share all these things somewhere? All our characters?
We're talking out of character right now.
All right.
What you guys have done, but everything that's gained here when you guys meet will have been shared.
Okay.
So your character will know this, but in linear real time, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Everything you hear is something you'll know.
Well, the first time you see me, you will notice that my physical appearance has changed. I lost an eye in a heroic feat. And that's all I want to say about that.
Did we? Yeah. Don't even tell them about the second component of that.
You lost an eye and feet?
Yeah, my feet. I kicked my eye out.
Which eye?
Well, let me ask the group, because this was since we're having a discussion. Do you know anything? Is there such a thing as a dominant eye?
Yes.
And is it always is there a dominant eye to your dominant hand?
In general, yes, but it doesn't have to be that way.
Because that's kind of why I ask. Would there be a better eye for me to keep? Is the reason you know what I mean?
How about
whichever one you've predetermined has better vision?
Everyone that thinks it should be his left eye, raise your hand.
That he's keeping or that he's losing?
That he's losing.
Me.
Okay, you lost your right eye.
Cool.
I lost my right eye.
Yes.
There you go.
That's pretty sweet.
Okay.
Is it my right or his right?
Yeah, this is reversed, right?
Yeah.
If you think it's your right, you're wrong. Okay.
I know my rights.
So a couple things, and I guess in the order in which I feel like I can talk to you about them, starting with the ones I can't say much about or don't feel like I want to. I have started a network in which information flows around the land, to me, from me, etc. Next,
so vague.
Are you Comic Tom?
No, but I have some books I want to recommend that you'll coincidentally find on eBay.
His fantasy eBay specifically.
I only got that from Aegis's spoof. Anyway, but speaking of collectibles, in case you guys haven't already, do not be surprised if someone runs up to you in the world and asks for your autograph on a little square piece of cardboard that has your likeness on it.
This has happened once to Talia and Miriam.
Okay. Because you guys are the stars and our friends are the stars of an adventuring, I don't even know, let's see, I guess, since this is new to the land, I have manufactured a collectible and the desire for it.
So you are Comic Tom.
Yeah,
manufactured it, man.
In the form of these little cardboard trading cards with our images on them and numbers on the back and descriptions and sub-parallel sets and random draw sets, etc., etc.
Are these our rookie appearances?
Yes, in this first adventuring set, they would be. It's season 1.
30 cards. They're all the people you know with some of the NPCs and some of the monsters and villains that you guys encountered in your adventures.
Yeah. So if you ever ask for an autograph, thank them for their patronage and encourage them to collect all 30.
Yep. Yeah. And then also with the network you started, you want to tell them a little more depth about that, about how that works?
No.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. You don't have to.
I'll just say this. Well, actually, I'm kind of making this up on the spot. Yes, I have a network of orphanages, and it kind of, as I kind of thought about it in my head, I was kind of like thinking like in the musical Oliver, where I forget the guy's name, but he's in charge of all the orphans, and they go out and steal.
See, my mind went straight to Game of Thrones and the little birds.
Well, okay. Except I don't want it to be like that. I don't want it to be a thieves guild. I just kind of wanted it to be an information sharing network, and I also didn't want to be taking advantage of kids either. So it's
a little too late for that.
Anyway,
well, no, it's not. Actually, we discussed this in depth. I want to elaborate a little better than what Phil's doing with that, because that does.
Well, you go ahead. I'll let you.
Yeah. So what he ended up doing was he ended up driving around the countryside with his enormous wealth that he has, both from the berry business, from the guest house that he left in Northridge, which he has people there caretaking for him, and it's basically an Airbnb in Northridge. And so the money is, coming to him when it can. Obviously, there's no ATMs in this world, so he has to kind of keep the tabs on that. But he's going city to city in different orphanages and helping them out financially. And not only is he helping them with money, but he's helping the individual orphans with teaching them how to survive, basically. And the only thing he gets out of that is basically them under his wing to provide him information of ongoings, what the villains are up to, where's some treasure, where's stuff like that out in the world, So he's got a connection from all of this. But he has helped. It's been a positive influence on the orphanages.
Including our own language.
Yes. Do you want to tell him about that? I didn't think you were going to bring that up.
Well, I would just say that it is our own language. Yeah.
Okay. When it comes up, it will be differentiated.
Okay. And then I was thinking about this. You and I didn't talk about this, but I was thinking I would call it my network of little angels. So that, it's kind of easy to sneak that in a conversation. Oh, a little angel told me, or, I've got it in good with a little angel, and people won't know
Okay,
that I'm really
okay.
talking about something that's really real. So, yeah. Okay, so, and then lastly, although kind of just as an aside, the Pop-Tart thing, I guess we're assuming is just a success and is just part of our monthly
It's the staple
income.
food of my kingdom.
Oh, it is. Oh, well, see. Okay. See, I just was thinking
we
about
haven't
it.
talked
It was kind
about
of a fun
but,
one-off.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah, it's not over.
Oh, excellent then. I'm glad to see that it's caught on in your culture there, Ulfgar. Do you have a favorite flavor fruit filling of your people?
Buffalo.
Sweet.
All right. Well, with that said, Phil, we're going to cut over here to Nola, and we're going to find out what Alon has been up to. So you're going to give him a basic rundown. I'll kind of help you fill in the gaps with my notes.
So Alon hung around town for a little while afterwards and did some adventuring with the wizard. And then after that, he sort of looked around and realized that he had sort of lost touch with himself and who he is and what he's supposed to be doing, and set out on kind of a hermit's adventuring life, trying to locate new materials and new weapons and different sort of contacts with different cultures for, like elves for Mithril, and trying to find dragon scales. And he actually eventually dug up a source of a new mineral, which is at least believed to be one of the densest ever found, which he's now using and learning how to make tools and stuff out of so that he can actually work with it more. But essentially he has just sort of redevoted his life towards almost being isolationist. And he's built his own forge as part of his shop, and he continues to just sort of work on that kind of thing, and is working towards a couple of long-term ideals.
Sure. To elaborate further on that with my notes, he was offered upon returning to Northridge a full partnership with Barry. So 50% of the company is his. So he found himself over about 6 months turning into more of a suit than a cleric. And it wasn't until Wolfrine required his help with something that he went back out on an adventure. And we'll get to that when we talk with Wolfrine here in a minute. But Alon was a little bit discouraged with the results of that. And so he realized, hey, I need to shape it up and get in touch, like he said. And the material he found is called Kashin. And it requires finding very thin deposits of it in order to be even sharp enough to forge against itself to even make these tools and weapons and other things that he's working with. And then that's pretty much where we're at. Somewhere along the way, he came back, built his forge, worked with those tools. He'd been back for maybe a couple months whenever what we're about to go into happened. So he's kind of just drifted for a while.
I've become a cranky old dwarf.
So lastly, we get to Wolfrine, who has quite a bit of stuff here. But go ahead and say your piece, and I'll help you fill that in.
All right, let's see. I guess one of the things, since I am the wizard of the school, I kept going on adventures with the new students and helping them out. Doing my wizardly duties. About 6 months in, I decided to go to Odell with a group of students and asked for Alon's help to try to confront Basil Jr. in thinking that he was in the High Castle in Odell, because that's what Jock had said. And we fought our way through the zombies and cleared a path and made it to the castle, and nobody was home. So nobody in Odell except for zombies.
They found no sentience at all, just zombies, fought to the High Castle, got there. There were traps at the castle that they made their way through, but the castle was empty. No one was there. And Richard was on that mission as well. Yes. He slayed many zombies.
Yeah. Richard was having a better time this round than last time.
Do you think the people who would have been there, did they become zombies or did they escape? Any idea?
The former residents probably are those zombies.
Yes, but the Order of Basil, the Sorcerers Guild, they are not there like they were thought to be.
Yeah.
So they escaped. They didn't get
They did.
Okay.
They were overcome by the Order of Sage.
It was about time.
So he pretty much spent his 6 months preparing and researching, like Lassard told him to, for the confrontation in Odell.
Yes.
And at the end of that 6 months, you guys went, and then when that was over with, he decided to turn his attention to other things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So then I continued to research the order and try to figure out where else they could be. That was part of it. Another part of it was while we were going on those journeys around with the students, I kept searching for Mike, even though he said we wouldn't find him until it was time. I kept looking for him anyways. Did not find
when you
him.
used the tracker stone?
But right, then eventually I was like, well, Ulfgar always brings this up. Let me look for the tracker stone. We found the stone, but we found no Mike. So he dropped the stone somewhere. While we were out and about, we ran into many, cults and things, and where possible, I converted them to being good and to praying to Azuth, the god of the wizards, and got in contact with my original 5 people: Bill, Ted, feel like there's a Carl in there, Carl, Steve, and Jeffrey, and they're all hearing about us, and they're aware of our adventures, and they're all still good. They haven't gone back to being vampire cultists, so good news there. And then the other thing, in the time when Alon was around town, we worked on forging bullets and imbuing them with magical spells. So Alon has some bullets. I have some bullets that we've imbued, I believe, anyways. I don't know if Alon does.
We didn't discuss that for sure, but you can definitely have that now because I've made sure with Nola that he was around Northridge for some time. So the ones that you wanted to have, you at least have those, and you have the ability to make more. So you're welcome to give those as you see fit.
And so mastered the crafting of those, and then I decided, since I'm figuring out how to make these bullets, and there is nobody currently around who could shoot a gun, I learned how to shoot a gun.
because you figured it would give you extra spell slots, basically.
Yeah.
Emergency swinging wizard.
Yep.
Pew, pew. All right, and you also visited Philena Anor, which is where his parents are from.
Oh, yeah.
You've been there before.
Forgot about that.
But you're not from there. But you went there and updated the city elders on your quest to avenge your parents. You also visited your old wizarding school and told them what was going on.
Yeah. And started an early search for a replacement for the school so that I would not be in the same spot as my predecessor. I'm already blanking on his name.
That's kind of a recent, Elric. That's kind of a recent thing. Like right now, within the weeks leading up to what you're doing, you're starting to realize I need to actually find a successor rather than just leave my work here for someone else.
Right. And so that might not be for years that they replace me, or I might find one to replace me sooner. But starting the search early, and so the school is starting that for me.
Yeah. And
I guess I decided to just travel the world and not be tied down to the school.
I see where Ulfgar asked a question in our private chat.
Wasn't sure if that's to bring up live or...
No, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to say that no, you haven't seen each other in that time, not since you left. However, at least Wolfreen and Talia are aware of what Ulfgar as king has been doing.
Okay.
Because you guys are pretty in touch with that region.
Yeah.
Alon was in the desert so long, he probably doesn't know much about it.
I don't think we mentioned it, but I went off to the west, like through the mountains.
She went off to the west, kind of the area where Wolfreen's originally from, and kind of went around there. Bean has kind of bounced all over the place, and we'll get to that. Bean has been intercontinental.
Okay. Does that play into anything? Because I feel like Ulfgar probably would have tried to get people up to the forge if that was part of their
people. Not your original adventuring partner, but people that you deemed worthy. Remember, they're not just going to let anybody up there, right?
Well,
people that you've deemed worthy have definitely, like somebody like, for example, the Captain Grundar guy would be allowed to go up there and have a weapon made. Various militia leaders from other towns that your boys work with, those leaders, you've been letting them come up there.
Did Enoch get a weapon?
I mean, our crew here.
You haven't seen them.
Okay, everyone just split.
Would I have bounced? As we were going around adventuring, just randomly run into him, like fighting off people in the area?
No, he's kind of just been sticking to the roadways and all that kind of stuff, and you've been adventuring off into more isolated areas.
Gotcha.
Towns, dungeons, places you haven't been.
So no meetups like the traveling school and Northridge when they show up at the same place.
Nothing like that. In fact, they've moved on. They're not even in the same region they were camped before. You're not really sure what's happening. You have cracked open a newspaper from time to time from Secret City, that Secret City Gazette we talked about that Phil went to get his trading cards made with. Occasionally, you will see something that King Ulfgar's done. And Talia and Miriam would have heard things too. Like I said, Alon would have been in the desert, and Bean would be very intercontinental at the point of this. He wouldn't be even on this continent.
So after the bachelor party, everyone just went their own way.
Pretty much. So now we get into the shit now that everybody's kind of established. First of all, your exploits have been excellent. I am truly impressed with some of the stuff you guys came up with. I feel I was telling Nola earlier that he definitely is taking his character in a direction that nobody else is by at all. Even though he went out into the world, he still is like as if he was like solo living in his house by himself. Ulfgar, you came up with some truly epic shit. You got a whole group of people. You have like at this point.
Yeah, the motorcycle gang is dope.
Yeah.
The world will learn of our peaceful ways through force.
Yeah. You're known as, if there's some trouble on the continent, the dwarves are there to deal with it at this point. You're trying to work your way toward the eastern half. That you've just been focusing on the west.
The dwarves are back in town.
Yeah.
Yes, but that was yes. The dwarves will never be subjugated again under under Ulfgar.
So really, the only ones who've seen each other is Alon and Wolverine have seen each other, and that makes sense. You know?
And that was a while ago.
Yeah. Up
Probably
until but the last like couple months, Alon has been back. He's still been kind of keeping himself, but he's still touching base and kind of realizing, hey, I need to see what's going on. So he's back there. He's got his little forge built that he built himself for his private use. He's got material that he brought. So,
Thanks.
So now we're gonna get to some character stuff here and some story stuff. Wolverine, you were working in your lab one day, and you know that you just got done talking with Laneige, and Laneige says that he has decided to make young Richard a sergeant in training. He's like, he's good enough now. He's not, he's not where I was whenever I helped found the school, but he's the best one we've got. And you pretty much agree that he's the best
He's been
one.
sergeantless this whole time.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. So you pretty much agree with him that he's the next. Whoa, that sounded like somebody totaled out.
Nice roll.
Damn it, Ripley.
I think Ripley.
No.
All right. And, you got done having that conversation, and you are working in your lab, doing your thing. You got, all stuff's going. Oh, one thing that we forgot to mention, and I think I only mentioned this very briefly to you. You may not have even put the note down because I think something distracted us. We were talking, Jeremy, but you have retrofitted the transportation cube to have a portable lab. The kitchen can double up as a lab now.
Oh, hell yeah.
So you can do all the stuff on the road that you were not able to do before. So no more of this. I can make one if I put my mind to it, which I think you only did that once the whole time.
Yeah, I never made more.
Because it just dissuaded you from doing it. Why put all that work into doing it just for once?
Yeah.
So you can do the transportation cube is a fully equipped lab now.
Sweet.
Yep. All right. Everybody got a little something. So there you go. You're working in your lab, all this stuff's going off. And then suddenly from over your shoulder, you hear a whoa.
We lost
someone.
Nola disappeared.
Oh. Well, we will wait for him to come back before we jump into all that.
Man, leaving me on a cliffhanger here.
Yeah.
And suddenly over your shoulder.
Yeah. Well, this is why you're working. Just picture yourself in the lab, working in the lab in the school, not the one in the house.
You're working. And you're working.
Yeah, you pretty much until he comes back.
In the forest? I thought we were in the dungeon.
It's a dungeon forest.
In the dungeon forest.
Okay, dungeon forest.
I love how that episode is super accessible now because it's on HBO Max.
I have vivid memories of watching that episode as a child.
Oh yeah, that might have been my first ever exposure to D&D.
I like to put it on and kill me some animals.
Like killing stuff, murdering things.
Yeah,
Is it also
killing people, killing animals? The more I play Satanism, the more I got into Satanism.
Yeah.
It's still real to me. Damn it.
God.
So you put that whole the whole intro together, right?
Yeah.
With a little bit of help from Phil, yes.
I'd say he did some too.
It's awesome.
Yep. Phil helped me record some stuff that I couldn't get by my own means and cut stuff up. And then I did everything else.
Yep. It plays. It's got a good build up. It plays through very.
I actually have another one that I've been working on that I was hoping I could debut tonight, but it's not good enough to do it. Maybe I'll have it for Tuesday.
Good enough.
Never good enough.
Always striving for the best.
Man, I wonder what happened to him.
You're the best around. Okay.
Straight up dissolved into dust.
I'm like, are we about to lose Phil too? Because this is what happened. Oh,
he's back.
No. Like the camera went off first, and then we lost him.
I wonder what the hell that even was, because we heard a bunch of loud noises before. Maybe Ripley tore to the house and like.
It looked like he just got his dinner. I thought I saw him put down the pizza box behind him.
He may have done that, but that shouldn't have made him like leave the chat or leave the video.
Could have pulled his wired connection out of the wall.
Looks like he's back.
There we go.
All right, we have
And
to
now
have an
Phil's gone.
explanation for that.
I'm
What
sorry?
happened? I said we have to have an explanation for that because that was epic.
I play on a laptop, and my dog got wrangled.
Oh,
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Ripley,
Yeah.
okay?
What the fuck?
Sorry, I didn't do it.
It wasn't me. Always take the shaggy defense.
Yep.
All right. So back to where we were. Wolverine is working his lab. He's got his beakers going, and over his shoulder, he hears a familiar voice say, "Been a long time, wizard."
That sounded creepy as fuck.
Who said this?
What are you wearing?
He turns around, and it is Lassard.
Well, Mike,
Oh,
welcome back.
Mike.
And Morgana's with him.
Hey, Morgana. You're not so vampiric anymore. Still holding. That's good.
Yep.
She's still as
And-
strong as when she was a vampire.
And she's pregnant.
No, she has definitely not got any of her vampire abilities. So she is starting over from scratch with minimal clerical abilities, and that was kind of one of their goals was to retouch with her saint, basically.
Didn't get that blade touch.
Yeah. So
She's back in touch with her saint.
close. It's not what you think, but yeah. So anyway, he's like been a long time. So how would you respond to that when you turn around?
Well, it has been 2 years, Mike. 2 years, I think, right? Give or
And he
take.
says, "Well, he goes, how have they been running my school?"
Well, we've been having adventures. We tried finding you. I know you said don't, but found your stone. I give him his stone back.
And he takes it and he puts it in his pocket. And he says, "I figured it'd be best that no one try that."
But let's see. Oof, what happened? Alon went with me and some students, and we
You went to Odell,
I
didn't you? And there was no one there.
we went to Odell. We didn't find Basil Jr.
He says that straight up. He just interrupts you and says, "You went to Odell and there was no one there."
Yeah, hey, we helped some students figure out how to kill zombies, so there was that. It was all about the adventure we were having. Richard did better this time. He wasn't hiding. Let's see.
Richard's never been
Richard-
hiding. He's just been like,
Well, I mean, the first time we went there, he was like scared out of his
"Oh, in Odell." Yeah, that's true. That was his first time out.
Yeah. So this time he did a lot better in Odell. And yeah, Richard's Sergeant Richard now.
He did excellent.
And yeah, lots of other adventuring. I went and saw, some family, I guess. Kind of. My old city. Went and talked to the wizarding school and all that. And yeah.
So you basically just bring us in. He says, "Well, you're probably wondering why I'm coming now of all times back to the school." And he says,
the
"Something
dragon.
amazing has happened, and I have some information that could lead to you finding Basil."
Is our dragon friend born?
He says, "Yes, the egg hatched," and he
Go
says
shoot fireballs with him now.
that. Well, hang on now. He says we traveled for some time with Keo, and then we split with him whenever he decided that it was best for him to, not have our influence over him, and he wasn't trained to be a fighter or a cleric. So, so anyway,
Was he training to be a dragon?
We traveled with him for several months, and then we went off on our own, and we found a cave system, very large cave system to house the dragon in, where we would go off periodically because Morgana needed to continue her search for her reconnection with her saint. And we would come back periodically, and one time we came back and we found that the egg was hatched, and we saw an amazing thing. We saw a young wormling dragon take to the sky. So, yes, he says Ostrega is back in this world, but we have no idea where he is. We tried looking for a while, but after a few weeks, we realized there was just no way that we could track where he would have went to.
After all of that, that's the thanks he gives and just takes off.
Says, but that is inconsequential to the information I have. Says, see, during our travels together and to reconnect Morgana with her saint, she sought a book that once belonged to the cleric Grayman that she remembers learning from. It was the book of St. Cuthberg, which is a canonical biblical text. And she found this book. And upon realizing that this book had only one copy in existence, most likely, we traveled to Candle Keep, which Wolfreen recognizes the name Candle Keep. He's never been. But it's over in the continent of Faerun, across the Azure Sea from where you guys are. And he says that we went there to have the book added to their storage, because Candle Keep, they can make a copy of any book, and they keep one within their stronghold. Knowledge goes there to survive, and for centuries it has, and they have a system well in place to preserve knowledge. And he says, while we were there at Candle Keep, we were meeting with the High Order of the Avowed. The Avowed are the group that has been tasked with protecting Candle Keep. There's over 300 of them. But we were having a meeting with them, and we found out that members of the Order of Basil, maybe even Basil himself, have come to Candle Keep in search of books.
Well, shit.
Damn.
It says, so if you are interested in following this lead, I suggested to Morgana that we come here and convince you maybe the Book of the Blue Mountain is not among their repertoire of books. You could use that to get in, because you have to have a book that does not belong, or not belong, but has not already been added to their library. That's how you gain entry. And it's for life. What you as long as you contribute, you can come back anytime you want, and you're allowed to bring one person with you. So I don't know about your colleagues, but I would assume that Alon is accessible, and you could take Alon with you.
Yeah, he's the only one I've seen in the last 2 years.
Says, all right. So my suggestion, I can't help you any further. I'm sure I'll catch up with you at a later point to figure out what's going on. I'm going to continue my journeying. And the two of you should travel to Candle Keep and figure out what is going on.
Sounds good. Keep the stone on you this time.
I will now. The time has passed for anonymity.
We'll seek you out if we need you.
And you.
I'll go talk to Alon.
Okay. Another thing that you have found out just by mingling with them is that Morgana has multi-classed to be a paladin. She is a holy knight of Cuthberg now.
Wow.
The drawback to that is her clerical powers are still somewhat limited, but the plus to that is there is no longer a vow of celibacy requirement.
So the comment of she's pregnant is far off.
I've never even considered that until he said that.
Time to consider it now.
They did have a dragon baby.
How long can you stay a vampire and still have the pipes working?
I mean, if her heart still beats, then I think everything else would work post-vampirism. So.
Assuming that everything else went back to normal.
The mountain cured all.
No need to assume that she snapped a fallopian tube.
Okay, well, enough of that shit. So I'm gonna turn this over to Wolfrey and let you role play it. Him and Morgana are gonna catch up with Laneige and Richard, and he's gonna get a tour of the school and see the changes that have been made. And Alon, as usual, can be found now that he's returned to town. Maybe last 6 weeks or so. Found at his forge next to the smithy. It's just his private thing, which is also connected to the store. And the store is also ran by locals that he's hired to do things. Everything is on autopilot with the business now. He's a straight suit, but he doesn't even really dabble with it anymore. So go ahead.
How's the shop doing without Miriam running the front?
It took a while to get up to those levels of sales, but business has been really good overall. Not only are the action figures selling and the honey and the berries, but man, the Hidden Valley Ranch has been flying off the shelf, and all that jazz, So, go ahead.
Nice. Alon, how's it going down here in the forge?
By the way, Alon works the forge naked.
Of course he does.
So. Wolfrine's at the front of the store yelling to the back because he found this out last time he came.
The curtains match the drapes, huh?
That's right.
You still hairless?
That's right.
Oh, man.
That's why he works naked.
Yeah, so I'm yelling this from the front. Alon, got something to tell you.
The clerk goes, he's naked again.
Put some clothes on before you come up here.
I will walk out front wearing only my blacksmithing apron.
Well, all right, that covers you up. Mike just stopped by with Morgana.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the dragon is born, but not with them. Apparently, it flew out of the nest. Now they're empty nesters.
Okay.
But more important, might have a lead on the Order of Basil. Those guys that we tried to find in Odell.
The last time you drugged me off on this adventure, it was much ado about nothing, wizard.
Well, Mike has confirmation that they have visited Candle Keep, which is... I don't remember exactly where that is. On another continent somewhere. Faerun. And
out of all these characters, Jeremy, you and Alon would be the ones who would actually know what Candlekeep is.
Okay.
You would for sure know.
So I will not explain Candlekeep to him.
Just mentioning it, he gets it.
So you're trying to drag me to a library?
Well, they might have a forge there too. They got to forge their tools somehow, right?
Wizard, I will give your mission one more try. This will be the last time I accompany you on this mission of yours.
Thank you, Alon. I think you're ready for another adventure, anyways. That's why you're going on this.
I immediately turn around so that my dwarf ass is hanging out and walk back to the forge.
And the wizard immediately points at his own face and casts the lightning bolt.
It looks like freaking Palpatine about to get thrown out the freaking off the Death Star
tower. The wizard is now blind. Kidding. Yeah, we'll whenever you're ready, maybe we'll leave tomorrow to try to head out that way.
I'll be ready tomorrow.
Okay, so I would assume that you would want to take some by means of ship to start, but you could probably fly the rest of the way once you got there. Assuming you want him to fly on the broom with you.
I don't think Alon will fly on the broom.
Will Alon fly on the broom?
I find that very unlikely.
Okay. Then you won't do that.
That has come up before, and the dwarfs will not fly on the broom.
Alon isn't real excited about taking a ship across the ocean, much less flying on a broom.
Well, the good news is you can take the company ship, and it's big.
Oh, we can check in on our sailors.
Yeah. So these people Alon has had some contact with, at least the leaders of them because he's running the business. So that's been that's okay. So you guys basically just I would assume use the transportation cube to go to Salt Marsh and take the ship over toward in the direction of Faerun, where you make port in a city like Waterdeep or something like that. I'd have to look at the map to see what would be closest to Candlekeep, so we'll leave that vague for now. But I think Waterdeep is pretty close. And the road runs down the coast that eventually gets to Candlekeep. And eventually, I'm going to prop here for you guys. Eventually, let me go ahead and do this. You guys.
Ooh, snap.
Got a lot of glare on it.
That's good.
Don't worry, I have a digital version, but this is the one that came with the Candlekeep Mysteries book. So I went and had it framed for a couple reasons. One, it's kind of cool to hang up on the wall. Two, for in-person gaming, we could actually use this if we wanted. So basically, you guys are coming down the road here where the land breaks off. That's pretty long. It's not super long, like a half mile or anything like that. It's probably maybe a quarter mile from the main part of land. Like you would be going down the coastal road with nothing really there, and then the road kind of turns off and then falls here till you get to the keep. So the way this works is when you arrive at the keep, the guards at the doors will stop you and ask what your purpose in coming there is, and somebody with the group has to present that they have a book that they think is not found within the walls of Candlekeep, and they are allowed in to the Court of Air, which is a lot of different things. Obviously there's a big open space here for people to mingle and all that sort of stuff, but there are different things here such as the Outfitters, and there's the House of Rest, which is like a hotel. There's the Hearth, which is like a restaurant. So this area here is pretty much visitors are allowed in. It's like a visitor center. So anyone can come in here, provided that they have a good reason to be there. The book is then turned over to a member of the Avowed who goes in to check to see if that book is in their library. And a waiting period goes before anyone is allowed past the Emerald Door, which goes into the Great Library. And beyond those doors, one person and their person of choice is allowed. We'll get back to the map if needed. So, Alon and Wolfreen, you guys are brought by, a taxi carriage. It comes up and it brings you guys to the door. And you've got, I'm assuming you have the Blue Mountain book. You didn't forget it and have to go all the way back.
Ah, crap. Okay. I have it.
Yep. So they stop you at the gate and they ask you what brings you here.
I believe this book is one of a kind and needs to be brought here to the keep for protecting and recreation.
Okay. And they say, are you willing to part with the book for a small period so that the Avowed can investigate to make sure that it belongs here?
Sure.
Okay, that is one requirement. So there are rules here, the Orders of Coordinates. You must follow these while you are inside of Candlekeep. No fighting. All arguments must follow the rules of cordial debate and discussion. Violent altercations are not tolerated. By the way, these guards are not fuck with people, basically. Think of paladins devoted to freaking books. Like that. No stealing. This rule applies to all objects in the keep, not just the library's works. No copying. Visitors are permitted to take notes while studying the library's works, but anyone who wants to make a full copy of a work must pay to have the manuscript created by the scribes at the house of the binder. No damaging, marking, or otherwise modifying the works. This rule doesn't apply to privately owned books, scrolls, and other documents that aren't a part of Candlekeep's collection. So if you brought a notebook in there, you could make notes, and it doesn't have to be an exact replica of what you're trying to write down. So if you're willing to agree to those rules, then you're allowed in.
Alon?
No objections. Okay. All right. So you guys are allowed in, and they take you into the Court of Air.
It's good we didn't bring the rogues with us.
We'll get to that. Yeah. So so you guys are taken to the House of Rest, which is a 3-story bunkhouse, and it provides seekers with a place of rest to store their gear. The rustic accommodations include both private rooms and common rooms. In addition to comfortable lodgings, the House of Rest offers guests peace and quiet. Noisy patrons are directed to the hearth if they want to continue in all that jazz. So yeah, that's very interesting. We'll get into that. The House of Rest can hold up to 50 guests comfortably. If more space is needed, extra dimensional spaces created by Mordekainen's magnificent mansion spell can be used to expand the inside of the inn and the tavern. Okay, from the outside of the hearth, it appears to be a modest tavern of sturdy construction with warm light emanating from a pair of small windows on either side of the front door. Upon entering the establishment, visitors quickly realize it's 3 times more spacious on the inside.
I've seen this technology before. Not technology, it's wizardry. It's wizardry.
Yeah. The hearth gained its larger dimensions courtesy of extra dimensional magic created by worshippers of Gond, which is the god of crafting. An intricate clockwork device is suspended in a 2-foot diameter, faintly glowing crystal orb embedded in the ceiling over the bar. The Avowed called this device a geometric amplifier. It is the source of magic required to maintain the integrity of the enlarged space. Keep that in mind. The bar seats up to 20 customers, and patrons can be seated comfortably at round tables with stout wooden chairs or at rectangular tables with benches. A dozen soft, cushy armchairs encircle the fireplace in the center of the room.
Can you repeat the part that you said keep in mind?
A intricate clockwork device is suspended in a 2-foot diameter, faintly glowing crystal orb embedded in the ceiling over the bar. The Avowed call this device a geometric amplifier. It is the source of the magic required to maintain the integrity of the large space. The enlarged space.
Thank you.
First roll of the new session, I want Wolfreen to give me a wisdom check.
Yeah, I'm not 6.
Okay.
Then starting out strong.
Yep. Okay. That's all I needed to know there. So you guys,
wisdom is higher than that roll.
What?
My passive wisdom is higher than that roll.
Oh. Yeah. What's your passive?
13.
Okay. Well, I suppose if I add that roll to your passive. Okay, I'll give you a kernel here since it's the first roll. I'll give you a kernel. All right. You realize that this technology is definitely in line with what made the transportation cube.
That's what I was thinking. Okay.
You were thinking that, but now we confirm Wolfreen was also.
Yeah. Player was thinking that. Wolfreen was not.
All right. So now you guys settle into the hotel, which was called the House of Rest. You know, you go in and you guys get your own rooms. So you guys are adults now. You're big boys. You know, you got your own room. And while you're there, you actually encounter a couple of dwarves. And you both realize you recognize these dwarves. These 2 dwarves are among the original 7 dwarves that went into the forge back before Nymeria claimed it.
It's Doc and Dopey. At least Grumpy's not here.
Yeah. So you do realize that, and they're like, "Oh my god, look, guys, it's the wizard that was there. He, took him on. He helped us, and it's the other dwarf. It's King Ulfgar's uncle."
Well, well, well.
What do you guys say? Anything?
I think Alon's probably gonna take that.
It's good to see you, brothers.
He says, "Okay." He goes, "Did King Ulfgar call for you?"
No, we're here on a wizard thing.
So you're not aware that Ulfgar's here in Nymeria, Queen Nymeria? They're here.
I haven't seen or talked to them in well over a year.
Oh. He says, "Well, we have been dispatched as his personal guard while he and Queen Nymeria are on a diplomatic mission to establish a relationship with Candlekeep, and they decided to bring the Forge of Fury tome that you guys recovered to activate the tome. They've offered that to the keep to make a copy. If you'd like, we could take you to their chambers."
I would
take us away.
Love to see my nephew.
Awesome. So they take you down the hall and up the stairs to the next floor, where you find more dwarven guards. It's like an elite entourage, basically to protect the king and queen on diplomatic missions. No motorcycles because they didn't bring those overseas. But so the take you to the chambers. They knock on the door, and Nymeria answers and is smitten by the fact that you guys are there. It's wonderful. Ulfgar, come here.
What?
What?
Where the hell have you been? I thought you all died after the wedding. I got a little bit drunk, so I might have forgot what happened, but
there was a possibility the Pop-Tarts would have killed us.
That's what they say, but doesn't kill you, makes you stronger.
Might have taken him to some zombies that could have killed him, so wasn't out of question.
You went after zombies and you didn't invite me again?
You're the king now.
You were doing your kingly duties. I could not interrupt that.
It's nice to be the king, but I miss trudging around killing things.
We left
there. Marriage is great, honey.
We left you a few zombies over in Odell if you ever get the chance to go over there.
We're busy tonight, but yeah, definitely.
So you guys basically just touch base and shoot the shit, and I'm going to assume that maybe the better part of an hour goes by, reconnecting, and then you guys take a walk out in the court of air. By the way, I want to say that the weather around here. Picture like if you have been or haven't been even. Imagine summertime in Maine. That's kind of what Candlekeep is like most of the year. There's a small bit of the year that it's cold, and maybe a very, very small bit of the year where it's warm, really warm. But it's like summertime. So you guys are out walking and all that, and you see that the guards are making some movement, and they go to the doors, and they say there's someone else. Ulfgar and Nymeria, you guys arrived just a few hours before Wolfreen and Alon did. But like I said, the better part of an hour, maybe 45 minutes have gone by, and you guys are kind of done shooting the shit, and you're just walking around and observing the place. You weren't quoted an exact time of when you'd be allowed in. You were just told, hey, so they're going to go investigate, make sure this book is not part of there, and then they'll give you permission to go in. But obviously only 2 at a time. Two for each book, basically. So you see some movement, and they go to the doors, and they are shouting down to someone, and they open the doors up, and the 2 hottest bitches in Faerun roll in on a motorcycle right there into the court of air. Whoa,
Don't want motorcycle.
You froze.
Nope, we never got her one.
Yeah, she's just riding on the back of the motorcycle in there. You bring her in, and they're like, "Yeah, you guys are basically like, holy shit," you know.
Well.
What's up, my dudes?
So, what do you guys want to react?
This is quite a surprise.
Hey,
why did we all not travel together? Because that would have been a lot easier.
Did you steal all the silverware?
Did you steal
No,
the reception?
Not this time.
Don't steal anything here.
I know. They told me.
So Talia found out about Candlekeep while her and Miriam started traveling in Faerun. They've not been there long. They went to Waterdeep and kind of touched base with her old, underground crew that her and Bean used to toy with there. And she found out about that, and they were excited to see that, she, got this volume 1 of her adventures. Did you properly title that? I mean, it's volume 1.
It's a working title. I was thinking about it. I haven't decided yet.
Okay, that's fine. So in universe, it's not a working title because it's actually being printed and shipped around.
It does have a name. I just haven't decided it yet. We're getting there.
So you basically found out about Candlekeep, and you thought, you know what? It'd be a cool place to check out. You might find stuff about the hand, and your book is something that can be brought and added to the ranks.
Hell yeah!
Nice.
I'm an author, y'all.
So you guys can role play a little bit longer if you want. If you guys got some other things to talk about.
I'm not here yet, am I?
No, you're not.
Okay.
No, you are not.
Soon.
You could have put more pictures in the book. Big words are hard.
She just pats him on his shoulder. Next time. No, we're working on something.
We will say that Ulfgar has a copy because he found out about that and he made sure he got one.
I look at her and I say, I read your book and I can't believe you can't let the dragon thing go.
I mean, listen, I was right and you were wrong. I'm going to rub it in your face until the end of time.
You had to write a whole chapter in the book about it.
I had to write a whole chapter in the book about it. My editor cut it down from 3, so be happy.
You also have a whole chapter in here about how I got confused about the wall and it not being a castle.
Listen, it took us pretty long to work through that as well, correct?
So that's canon now.
I needed to share with the world the proper intelligence of our wizard.
I have intelligence, not wisdom.
And of course, Miriam is also excited to see all of you, especially Alon, since she had such a history with
Yeah, she ran right over and gave him a hug.
How's the shop running without me there?
It's never the same without you.
Awesome. So you guys are shooting the shit, and you're just about to be, all of you are about to take Talia and Miriam in so they can check into their own rooms. And all of a sudden, you hear this sound. You just hear, like that. And Bean is coming down from the far northeast on a compact handheld hang glider. And you see he has one eye missing, a patch over his right eye. And he just, and he actually comes in and lands beyond the walls. And guards are actually firing arrows at him. They're like, what the, like that.
This landing looks familiar.
We're going to start every new game with a crash landing.
Alon just shakes his head.
He's less sneaky than I remember.
So they're not hitting
harder to land
arrows,
without your eye.
but arrows are sailing past you, and you hit the ground, but you hit it where you don't crash. You just tick, 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 like that, and kind of take a knee to slide to stop.
Okay.
And you're able to just, the way your glider works, you just click it together, and the thing goes in. You can slide it back on your back.
Okay. I will stay on my knee, on one knee, kind of with my hands in the air.
You do that, and 2 members of the Avowed rush over, and they put up long swords to either side of your neck like that, and they're like,
I'll just say, hey, relax. It's not my fault I caught a bad crosswind. I was aiming for the other side. Just let me out of here. You can be on with your day.
Okay. And
I'll raise to my feet.
does somebody in there want to say something to try to help?
And I'll also say Yar. There.
Yeah. Do you have a hat on, pirate hat?
Nope.
Patches
enough.
How far away is he from us?
You guys are all kind of there. He's like maybe 15, 20 feet away where he landed and slid, and the guards came up like that, and they're like that.
Do I see them?
Yeah, you're sitting there like that. You know that you're about to get arrested.
Yeah, but do I see my friends?
Yeah, you see them.
Nice. Sneaky one.
Oh wait, hey guys.
We know him. He's not bad. Don't hurt him.
Fuck, Bean.
He's just trying to imitate how I arrived to school the first time we met. I get what he's doing here. That's all the joke.
Why am I here? What brought me here?
Yeah. So the deal with you is you've been traveling around Faerun for a while, for more than a year at this point, and you did end up back in Waterdeep at some point, and you found out that Talia and Miriam had actually been there, and that she told the old crew that she was wanting to go submit her book, and you thought, hey, maybe they'll take the trading cards.
All right. Plus, I want her autograph. I want her.
Yeah.
Plus
you want to reconnect with her and all that stuff.
All right.
That Ulfgar would walk over to the guards and say, "Relax, relax. Have a Pop-Tart," and then tap Bean on the shoulder. Say, graceful as ever.
Cool.
Well, then I guess I'll approach the rest of the party. Hi, Ulfgar. Hi, Hairless Dwarf. Wolfrian. But in the meantime, I'm grabbing into my backpack for my book, and I'm going to give it to Talia. Hey, can you autograph this for me? I've been looking for you for a couple days now.
He's carrying around like a binder, like you slide cards in, and it's got the first wave of cards in there. So
I would like to point out that since that first autograph, she now conveniently keeps a pen located in her person at all times.
Does it look
like hell yeah.
Does it look like an arrow?
It does. And you have to twist the little the ends to make it click. So it's like chick. And she
I
finds
would
it.
look at Bean's backpack and say, "What happened to your motorcycle?"
I traded it in for this thing. Gets me around a little closer. Doesn't require fuel.
I would like to roll a deception check.
That's right. You told me you were going to do that. Okay. Dirty 20.
Ooh.
Okay. Well, they're all good with that. Like that's a acceptable answer.
Okay.
Yeah. As you wipe the sweat away from seeping down into your eye patch.
You're not staring at my eye, are you, Ulfgar? Because it's over here. Never mind.
It looks badass.
Or your left? I don't remember what eye I have left.
What's the other guy look like?
Do you have a scar down it? Is there like a sling over it? What do you got?
That's a good question. I don't know. If this was a video
Snake
game,
Plissken?
I would have like 20 scars to choose from as I was rolling the character. Yes, I will say that the scar is really grisly.
Can we infer what caused said wound?
But not grisly enough to make my charisma go down. And say that again.
Can we look at it and have any idea what might have caused it?
Yeah, you want to look under my patch? Is that what you're saying?
Hey, it's a party.
Yeah, okay. That's a little weird, but I know you, so okay. Yes, I will look him. I will. I will let him gaze upon the grizzled meat that is my eye.
I'm a big fan of wounds and scars. So,
it was an emerald dragon took this out. I was just sleeping, and he happened upon me, and we kind of surprised each other. And I don't think he meant to hurt me, but in his panic and our panic, I lost an eye.
Did you say a dragon?
An emerald.
Yeah, that's real convenient that you've run into two dragons.
I want you to roll a deception check. I won't make you do a disadvantage since you got the
18.
Okay. You guys are sitting there like, okay, yeah, but they're.
But it wasn't a blue one.
It's emerald.
Ah. I was hoping you might have run into our friend.
So damn it, how come you guys keep running into dragons?
So the guards have accepted that you have a work here. They don't know about the cards. They just know you have a book that you turn over to the but they're gonna let you.
Well, if they're still hanging around, there's the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Gentlemen, I'd like to take these on behalf of me. With my apologies, I hand them each a pack of cards. I'll tell them there, open them carefully, because they're worth a lot of money, especially if you can find the rest and make a whole set.
30.
There, I'll say to the guards.
Cool.
Remember to put your gloves on when you open them.
Yes.
Right on.
There's a whole YouTube tutorial about it.
Yeah.
So like
fantasy YouTube.
The common cards would be things like monsters, I would assume, and NPC characters. Those are commons, and then the villains and the heroes are the rarities.
We're the chase sets.
One per pack.
Yeah.
Like
Pokemon
cards.
And I slipped in a few like actual game worn tunic cards. So
so they start tearing the packs open and they're flipping through like goblin. They go through, and then one of them goes, "Oh my god, it's the hot chick!" And they go over there and they get an autograph from Miriam.
Hell yeah! Miriam also has a matching pen, but hers is a sword that clicks.
That's oddly specific, but yes. Cool.
There's a joke in there somewhere about pen versus sword.
So they hand off the work to the guy who is basically coming in and out of the emerald, to look at, and he looks at Bean's stuff and he says, "I can respect your craft that you were trying to impose upon the world, but this is not the sort of thing that we keep here. So unfortunately, we will have to ask you to leave."
All right, see ya.
And then Miriam is like, hold on a second, guys. Like, check this out, right? So, you're allowed to hang out here and everything, but to go in, there's like 6 of us, right? So, Ulfgar, maybe you could let Bean be your one to go in with you.
Yeah, you got a +1.
Sure.
Check with your wife.
Gotta ask his wife.
The king can do whatever.
Right, honey?
Well, yes. Nymeria is basically like,
I'll be right back.
Yeah, Nymeria is basically like, yeah, it's no problem at all. You won't be in there more than a day, probably. And
wow, day reading books, huh? That's
So anyway, the time is not for that. The time is for you guys to gather, get a room for Bean, get a room for Talia, get a room for Miriam. You guys settle in, and then you guys go to the hearth, which I described earlier as a very nice place, and you hang out, and you guys are talking, and you're telling your tales. Now's the part where all the stuff we did at the beginning, we introduced your character. You're all becoming aware of that now.
Okay.
And then also the stuff with Lassard and Morgana showing back up and explaining about the dragon and how some of the members of Basil have been here. So
yeah,
I'm going to give you guys another opportunity, since all of you are together now, to, if you want to role play anything else, if you have any specific questions for each other, now would be the time before something kicks off.
Hey, Wizard, you haven't burned the cube down yet, have you?
Not yet. I expanded it, though.
Not yet.
Well, not expanded, but improved it. We got a lab in there now.
Oh, shit. Look at you.
And, Alana and I made some bullets and imbued some
magic boomsticks.
Magic boomsticks.
Hell
yeah. I give her 3 bullets imbued with lightning bolt and 3 imbued with thunderbolt. At a level 3 for each of them.
And you need to let her know to be fucking careful with that one.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what those do later, but
yeah. I doubt you'll use them today.
And you said Thunderwave was the other one?
Yes.
Dope. And I will put them in a little pouch.
Be very, very careful with this. No accidental spells going off.
Noted.
Okay.
So, Uncle Alon, why haven't you come back up to the forge yet?
Nephew, I kind of just been keeping to myself lately. I became disillusioned with the way in which I was living my life. I realized that I had forsaken many of the values that I said that I would adhere to, and I've been trying to rectify that situation. So I've been kind of living a isolated life with an occasional adventure on my own, searching for things that I can use to help create different things in the world.
Well, when you're ready, it's Forge is waiting for you.
I appreciate that.
They make sharp things. They go bang, kill bad guys. It's great.
I'm looking at making less sharp things.
Am I privy to that conversation?
Sure.
I'd be talking loud as shit.
Oh. Well, I'm interested in an upgrade to my hang glider. So I have a question about materials, really. And I'll say this in front of Danny. I'm really kind of interested in, given the landing situation I just found myself in, is there any way I could strengthen that material so that it could act as a shield? The wing material?
Not in its current state, but it is absolutely possible to come up with something like that. Yeah.
So I was thinking it can't be metal because that would cease flying.
Yes. Yeah. You're looking for something magical.
Oh, okay. All right.
But that's not going to be something you're going to find today or even probably the next 2 or 3 sessions. But it's something you can work toward.
Well, I quit. See y'all. Okay. Also, I would like to be pigging out with Ulfgar with Pop-Tarts because I missed his Pop-Tart talks together that went way into the wee hours.
You disappeared.
I know.
I cook Pop-Tarts regularly.
I'm busy, but I've been listening and hearing about your exploits.
Kind of like
I've heard oddly nothing about yours. Almost like you dropped off the planet.
Good. Well, there are several ways to hide in shadows. I have an assumed ID. No. But I would also like to talk to Nola and just give him a big hug and say, I really miss beating the shit out of you, man, by accident.
Dude, that's like the first or second time I've ever heard Phil say the S word. That was amazing. I really miss beating the shit out of you.
I use that word a lot. I didn't realize you haven't been hearing me say it.
He's been tallying them, secretly.
Yes, so times Phil swears.
Assigning experience, which, by the way, I am going to assign you guys some experience at this point.
Oh, snap.
With your parting of ways and going off into the world and making your own and coming up with these ideas. I mean, I met with each of you individually and we cooked up some stuff to make your characters fun and add to the backstory. That and then coming together again and continuing on this, I award you each 5,000 experience.
Ooh.
So close.
Exactly. I think I did it just enough where you either are about to level up and one of you may have, but I don't think so.
In 817 points.
Ulfgar's probably really close.
What do you level up at?
23,000.
I am very close.
How close?
180.
That's great. That's what I was hoping for. I was hoping to get you guys either right before doing it or just to the point where you're going to do it.
I'm at 21. So that's not too far off.
I'm at 2664. Can I get 2 XP there, Danny? I can have 666.
I want to. Oh,
Do it.
Practice holding my breath for 3 hours.
2666.
You guys are right where you should be. Do you have Miriam's character sheet finished?
Like 99%. We never went over like money and complete items, but 99%.
You have her at the beginning of level 4, right?
Yes.
She does not get that experience.
Okay.
Because she's level 4 right now because of everything that she's done at the school and with you.
Gotcha.
She's a level 4 fighter, and she will start multi-classing to rogue at 5. All right. Well, you guys are hanging out, you're having dinner, and things wind down for the evening, and it is uneventful. You know, this is a perfectly safe place. I'll go ahead and say now, out of game, for the foreseeable future, you guys will view the Court of Air at Candlekeep to be the equivalent of the Northridge Adventuring School.
Cool.
I'll provide a map for you in the future that's a little more in depth.
Are we paying for room and board or?
Nope. You guys
Okay.
have the qualifications. It's a guest house. You just have to be qualified to even come in. Obviously, they can expand it infinitely for guests of guests. But once you go into Emerald Door, it can only be the person with the book and a guest of their choosing. So if you guys do this right, then, well, it's not if you guys do this right, it's how it's playing out. You guys will be permitted to go in. Jeremy will take Alon, or well, Wolverine will take Alon. Ulfgar will take Bean, and Talia will take Miriam.
Do I see any evidence of little angels here around?
Orphans?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Nope. Nope. The only people that are here are the Avowed, and there are nobody else at the House of Rest currently that is trying to submit a book. You guys are the only ones here right now. So,
We have all our weapons on us.
yeah.
Okay. Just wondered.
But I thought we weren't supposed to have weapons on us.
You can have
Or is
weapons. You
that-
just can't throw shit.
Okay.
Yeah. There's still defense and stuff like that here. So right now I need Alon to do a wisdom saving throw.
Give me 1 sec.
Okay.
Walking back from the kitchen.
All right.
Wisdom, you say?
Yes.
Uh, 23.
Oh, perfect. That's great. Then I can give you all the information that you need. So it has dawned upon you that this is absolutely no coincidence that all of you would meet back together at a different time and different place like this. Your reservations about going with the wizard have fallen away. You know that you're right where Warden wants you to be.
Okay.
Sound sensible?
Sounds sensible.
Cool. Yeah. Caroline, I see you sent me a message, but I cannot look at
Yes.
it right
No, it's fine. It's like for later.
now. Okay. I
It
saw
relates
that it
to
was
the
a
game, but it's
fucking
not.
book all in itself, so I'll have to read that tomorrow whenever I. No, I'm kidding. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
vaguely important, but not really in the sense of what we're doing right now.
So you guys get up in the morning, and you guys go down to the hearth for your continental breakfast, and you're down there hanging out and all that, and you just don't know how long it is to wait. We've passed the 24-hour mark from when Ulfgar got there, so you know that it's been some time, and you guys are hanging out. You know, you're using all this just to enjoy each other's company. This is a good positive experience. You know, you guys are all back together. You've had your own adventures. You're reminiscing on the old times. And after a while, late in the afternoon, approximately the 24-hour mark of Bean crashing.
I want to share flight tips with Jeremy.
A green dragon ancestral dragonborn. So he's like Laneige, but he's green.
Dope.
Comes in.
Is he
And
the one that scratched your eye?
Please tell me he's got Bean's eye.
Just
He's
around
got-
his neck.
He's got really long glasses going down his snout, right? Because he's got a snout on him, so it's like the glasses are here, and it's like way at the edge, and like goes way back. And he comes up to you and he's like, "Hey, cats, man, my name is Bookworm." He says, "I go by."
Tell me it's
I go,
spelled WYRM.
yes, it is.
Yeah.
Damn right
He
it
says,
is.
"I'm Skoda Valanaster, but they call me Bookworm around here." And he's like, "And I heard you crazy cats all have a book to submit to the library, man."
Didn't we already give them away to the?
Yeah. Hey, well, they're in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he says, "Can I ask each one of you which one of you it was that submitted?" And you obviously Tally would say you got one, and Wolverine would say that, and all the ones that had one did. And he's like, okay, he's got a little list with him. He's like, "So I'm like the first reader, right? It's this title where I go when I check out. It looks like all your books check out, so you guys are allowed to bring one guest in." And he says, from what I understand, one of you knows Mike Lassard.
I mean, we all kind of know Mike Lassard.
All of us.
Yeah. So all of you did. And he goes, yeah. But like, the wizard type man, he told me he was going to go.
Wizard.
He was going to go fetch you, right? He
Yep.
says, so he goes, so see, Candlekeep's normally a calm place, but some shit's been going down, man.
Kind of shit's been going down.
He said, "Well, I understand that like you had this trouble with the sorcerer guy, right? And we think that he might have been here, right? Him and his goons were creeping, right?"
Oh shit!
Were they coming in like allowed to come in, or were they just?
They all came with books. Some of them came at different times, but we started to realize after a while, man, that they were together.
Man,
one of them came a lot earlier than the rest of them, and she hung out here for quite a while. She got into the Great Library and got her own room in the place, which you guys will also have access to. And he's like, she was in there for a while, and one of our master sages, man, what was that guy's name? I don't even remember what his name was. It was Matreus. One of our master sages, Matreus. He went in the room looking for her, right? He never fucking came out. And but the chick, right? I don't know, maybe you know her. Her name is Fistandia. And right then, Wolverine, you actually recognize the name Fistandia. She was a student at the wizarding school with you, and you knew her quite well.
Oh, fuck. He's been recruiting from the wizarding school, that bastard.
How dare he?
And so he's like, so if you don't mind, while you're here, submitting your books, maybe you could help us figure out what's going on.
Do you think she's still in there somewhere?
She never came out. She'd spend weeks at a time in a room sometimes. We didn't even know how the hell she was eating.
She's teleporting?
Says, I don't know, but I got the clearance from above my head to let you guys in so we can go open up that emerald door and make a move.
Well, we will be on the lookout for suspicious activity.
So right about this time, Nymeria turns to Ulfgar and she says, this seems like it's going in a direction that I shouldn't follow because we have a kingdom and children to worry about. So I'm going to take the personal guard back to Kundrakar, and you should do your duty and help your friends.
Okay, baby. See you at home. And then I look over and I'm like, did anyone understand what that lizard guy was talking about? I didn't catch any of that.
Lizard guy. He's a dragon man. Essentially, I guess I'd maybe clarify. I don't know.
Okay, Bugbear, have fun.
Okay.
We'll go kill stuff.
Bugbear. Wolverine, can you do a persuasion?
14.
Okay, so yeah, you roughly translate it, and Ulfgar is still kind of confused, but at least he gets that there's going to be some bad shit happen.
Is some
Get
people
your
going
axe
to die?
ready. Get your axe ready for the bad people, but not for the good people.
So basically, he's like, well, whenever you guys are ready, the door's opened up. We can go in. So he leaves you guys to he leaves you with Ulfgar and Nymeria. You guys part ways. She leaves Candlekeep to return to Kundrakar. And the 6 of you approach the door, and that is the end of tonight's session.
We did it.
Like I said, basically a session 0 2.0.
The whole gang's back together again.
We done did it, y'all.
Band's back together.
Copy 801 in the room.
All right. So we're going to wrap this up right at the 2-hour mark, which is, I think, cool to do for something like this. So, I wasn't sure. I was thinking possibly taking you guys, but I'm like, no, you know what? Let's keep this. This was a lot of build. Let's do this right. So I'm going to start. We're going to start with Phil for a change. I don't think he ever ends up in that slot over there. So let's start with Phil. What did you think about hearing everybody's stuff and all that? And then let me know how I did with the introduction and bringing everybody together. And what do you think of the new setting?
I like the new setting. That's a great map. I'm into maps. So anytime there's a good map, I like the setting. I really liked how everyone was brought in. I think some of my favorite stories were are Talia's and Ulfgar's. I think we need to free Ulfgar. Hashtag
of his
free Ulfgar.
captive marriage.
I've never.
It's
been
working out pretty
happier.
good for him.
Yeah, it's just a marriage of convenience, though. We know
Whatever.
We know that he still hasn't found his one true love.
I was trying to bring the map up for you so you guys could have this while you're talking, but it's not. It's doing the Phil thing.
Don't say that. It's my stage name.
The Phil thing.
And then I liked I had totally forgotten about, but totally loved the entrance with the hang glider.
You totally love entrance of what?
The hang glider.
Oh, okay. Why is the map not coming up? Phil, can you like refresh it or something?
Well, I
never saw it when I logged into Owlbear either.
Oh, I didn't have the map
now
up.
I see it.
Yeah, I didn't have the map up, but I brought it up now because I wanted to be a surprise. But it's a surprise that we're not seeing it.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let me go back and reload the link. See if that kicks it in the butt. No,
there's definitely better maps.
There
than
it
this
is.
too,
That did it.
Hey, there it is.
There we go. Okay, cool. So we at least have that as a visual while we're kind of chatting a little bit.
Yeah.
So you said you love the map.
Badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a super cool map. It's the only map I've gotten with the D&D module, and I had to frame it. I just thought because I think this is now Northridge and Northridge Adventuring School is my creation, like almost entirely, like 95% me. But this is something straight from a module, which you guys have done some stuff from modules like Forge of Fury and Salt Marsh and stuff, but this is going to be the most centered thing from a module that we've done. So, and it's not that you'll necessarily stay in Candlekeep all the time, but you're going to be here a lot.
Are those the other random buildings inside of the gate? Are they like what you would find in a normal town? Like there's going to be a shop and there's going to be a tavern and there's going to be like a school.
Not that much, but yeah, if you remember when I was showing the map down here at the bottom, there is the tavern, the hotel. Up at the top, there's the place called the Outfitters, and it's like a place to get clothes made. So for the most part, but it's a functioning town only for the Avowed.
Okay.
And then the guests. So it's kind of limited on what it has. So anyway, Phil, did you have some more things you want to say about that?
Only that I have about 4 hours left on the speed I took earlier, and the game is going to be a longer session on a Friday night. I forgot you said it was going to be 2.0. Anyway, that's all. I had a good time. I'm really looking forward to digging in next. Are we playing next Tuesday?
We're going to play Tuesday. We're not going to play Friday, but we may do something with Caroline. I don't know if you were around for that, but me, Phil, Lewis, and you may do something with Copy. Maybe if he's listening right now.
Okay.
Copy. I don't know if you're available next Friday, but we're going to be down 2 players, so we might want to do like a one-off with you if you're listening.
Jeremy and I have a date.
Could be on Patreon for all our subscribers.
Okay. Phil?
So I'll kick it down to Mr. Jeremy.
Yeah. Are you muted?
I think you.
I have apparently been muted for I don't know how long.
Oh no! I thought it was kind of nice.
Missed all of the great comments.
Yeah, man.
It's the funniest
Apparently
we've
missed
ever
some
been.
gold.
The best comments ever said happened in the last couple minutes, I think.
You've never been so funny.
Exactly.
Gold, Jeremy, gold.
I lost it all. Anyways,
upcoming date.
The new location's exciting. We got a lot more to explore. So
It's way bigger than what you think, too.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like it seems like a full city in there, even though it may not be like city operating. But
there's magic stuff that makes it bigger.
Mm-hmm.
As you were,
right.
I'm telling you that because you already saw an example of it. There's more.
Yeah. So maybe saying, "Hey, look at the cube. How does this work?" Or I guess maybe if I have issues with the cube later on, I know maybe where to go to instead of Odell.
Well, I'll tell you this right now. If you were to ask permission, we'll just go ahead and do this now. If you ask permission, they would let you set the cube up inside the Court of Air. It takes up. Look, I mean, if you look at that map,
there's a lot of open space.
Let me bring it up one more time here. If you look at that, like look at it really closely. Look at the size of the building. Like, I'll go ahead and zoom it. Does that help? That's like where the Outfitters is. Look how small that is. The cube is smaller than that when it's set up.
It didn't zoom at all. I think that Phil has to zoom that to.
Oh, that's right. Phil's the one running it. That's right. Phil, here, let me show you with the laser. Phil, can you do me a favor and zoom this area right here? See that?
Yeah.
So that is a clothing store and like a tailor. So you could look at this huge space you have where you could set up the house and it wouldn't take up any space.
Yeah.
So we'll just say now that the Avowed are allowing you to set up the house there, so you have a point on the map that's away from everything, and it's like that's like sand out there, right?
Nice.
Coarse sand, not fine sand.
Not quicksand.
Definitely not quicksand.
Been there, done that. Don't need to do that again.
Thanks, Phil, for moving that.
Could also be a lot underground, under the city.
It's an interesting
for all we know.
I just imagine there's just shelves everywhere and books.
This is supposed to be like the library of all libraries. Apparently, it's one of the most. Okay, have you guys ever? Well, I don't think Phil would have, but Nola, have you had anything in D&D that had Candlekeep?
Nope.
I haven't either, but it has been a location in D&D for a long time. Just not mapped like this, not with its own freaking book. Look at this. You know how much material I can pull out of this?
By the looks of it, I'd say approximately 112 pages.
Oh, man.
224.
That was close.
Yeah, exactly half. Right? 224. You said 112.
Pieces of paper, not sides.
There's so much stuff that I can pull. Everything that I just gave you guys to build to this came off of 3 pages.
Yeah.
By the way, just to be clear, that is 112 pages.
It is. That's true.
Just to be clear.
You're not wrong.
So yeah, there was 3 pages I pulled material from that wasn't a map. 3 pages of stuff, and there was stuff on those pages I haven't used. So that gives you a good idea what you got ahead of you there. So yeah, Jeremy, story-wise, like I know we talked about with the dragon and stuff, and I told you that it wouldn't work for what you had requested. Now, do you see why that makes a little more sense?
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to visit them and visit the dragon, and was hoping that it was like growing up with them or something over the time, but he just was born and took off, and they didn't even see him.
No, I saw him, but that was enough.
Well, yeah, they didn't get to like help him grow up, I guess, beyond birth.
Yeah, that would have happened several months before they came to you.
Yeah,
maybe 4 or 5 months, and then they, went and they retrieved the book, and then they came there and they put the book. Yeah. And remember, Lassard and Morgana can come anytime they want because they submitted that book to the records.
But they can never leave.
In our darkest hour, suddenly they will be there.
Maybe. I had fun making the plot hook for this. It was really cool to just like look at everything that you guys had done and then everything you guys established with me one-on-one and kind of put that together. So. Yeah,
I like that there was a reason for all of us to go there, and it wasn't just like
your own independent reasons.
Yeah, it wasn't even just like, oh yeah, I just happened to be in the area and I saw you guys, and I decided.
I like the idea that Bean would have got in touch with all people they used to hang with, and then found out that hey, Tally was just here, like not long ago.
You just missed her.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. Their paths were going to cross naturally, So, but then obviously something is afoot for all of you to be back together at the same time. Cool. Well, if you have any final comments on that, then I'll kick it over to Nola.
Yeah, I enjoyed hearing everybody's stories of what they did in the last 2 years or so.
Did it? Here's a question: did it actually feel like 2 years now, even though we just played?
Kind of.
A little bit.
I mean, there's a lot that everyone did.
Exactly. That's why I did the individual meetings, and so you guys didn't hear it all at once, because I wanted that in-game sense of time passing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the reverse of when we're doing like a dungeon crawl type thing, and you guys are taking turns, where like a long time passes in a short period of, you know what I mean? Like it's like our short time passes in game, but it's a long time. Like we might spend 20 minutes doing 4 or 5 minutes worth of combat, So it's the opposite of it. So anyway, I want to hear what Noel's got to say.
I found it interesting primarily doing the behind the scenes stuff because I think Alon probably went a different direction than I would have ever planned for him to go. It just felt like the right thing to do. And I'm curious to see how this is all going to pan out in relationship to the group now. Mm-hmm. So it'll be an interesting dynamic over the next few sessions, I think.
Yeah, rolling that 23, I think, was really cool. As far as the whole, your perception of, hey, there's something at foot here. I'm glad I came, that sort of thing. Because you haven't really been doing any of this adventure type stuff that involved a group or anything. What'd you think of my execution of this? You can be honest.
I thought it was well done. It's always hard to finagle a reason for a bunch of random people to end up in the same place at the same time. So anything that doesn't require showing up in a tavern and looking for a bulletin board,
Yeah. I think it's cool that, we say that, but at the same time, there was still a tavern in both situations because you had Alpine back in Northridge and then you got
sure.
So it's cool that can still be a component and still feel very classic D&D, but you're not just you start off in a tavern and then you meet everyone.
Right.
I agree with
you.
We
met in the square and went to the tavern.
Cool. All right. Well, if you have nothing else to say, then we're going to find out what Caroline thinks.
I'm ready to solve the mystery of the library. Where this random lady went.
Yeah, what do you think about that? What do you think about the fact that Wolfrey knows someone that's here?
She's definitely using some spooky magic. But, we're not supposed to kill people in there. I feel like that's going to be very hard for Talia.
She's a bit of a murderess.
She's a little quick on the draw there.
She likes to shoot ice arrows at vampires.
Listen, everyone's an enemy until they're not.
Until they're dead.
You're either dead or you're a friend at that point.
I might have I might have 2 or 3 pages worth of stuff. When I say pages, it wouldn't be that hard to read. Of material I might give you guys that can flesh out more than rather than just me reading off shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I think I read and hit all of the key things of the areas you were at, but there might be some things like that, like specifics. Like, for example, you're about to meet a group of people, and I think that beyond me just naming who these people are and describing what they look like, I think it'd be better if you guys just read their shit.
Fair. Yeah, I'm ready to see how this is going to be different than what we just did.
Mm-hmm. You can clearly see that it's a very different setting, you know.
And I'm hoping I find out more about my hand. She still reads to it every night just to keep it happy. It gets a bedtime story.
Has it done anything else?
Nope.
Did it help you write your novel?
It's my ghostwriter.
Now, keep in mind that thing does not move unless it has a reason to.
Yeah, so it's just been chilling.
Yeah.
I mean, a best-selling novel is a good reason.
She now carries it like in a pouch that's just like on her waist.
I'll say this. I'll say that one time during you and Miriam's adventuring, it actually did do something. Well, we can determine later what that is.
Determine later. Cool.
But I'll say that you have reason to believe it's still.
Yeah. It hasn't killed me yet.
It crossed out the 2 chapters about dragons and left just the one.
Just a giant red no.
Cool. Well, any other comments about your hopes and dreams of the future in this world, or?
I'm very curious about the library just in general and the kind of knowledge that can be attained from it.
Mm-hmm.
What you're going to let us do, how much we can bullshit around it.
One thing I'll tell you, and we'll cover this in game, is there is warding spells on this place. One of the ward spells prevents fire magic from being used very much.
Not lightning magic.
So, well, anything that catches things on fire. So I think it does actually include that.
Yeah.
So the reason why it's called Candle Keep is because you require a candle when you're in the library stuff to even be able to see. And so, because flames do not exist above a candle. What? Jeremy?
Wait, we can have candles that have fire, which could set the whole place on fire.
No. The magic there prevents fire from existing beyond a candle. There's no other type of lighting here because this place hasn't updated.
So if you try to take a candle and light something on fire, it would just extinguish.
Yes. And casting fire, casting sacred flame or something like that would just be, punished, basically.
Can we remove the wards?
It's very powerful magic. We're talking archmage level shit.
Magic missile.
And so that sort of thing is a thing that exists here. There is one place in the entire peninsula, I guess, where that doesn't affect. That is in the hearth, the fireplace where all the chairs are sitting around. That is the one place that is not warded.
Makes sense.
All right, Caroline, any final comments before we go to Lewis?
It's going to be interesting playing 2 characters, and we'll see how well I remember to incorporate Miriam's hopes and dreams into the game.
She's pretty easy.
Yeah, she's real chill right now, but I want to give her a personality.
Yeah. All right, Lewis, you're the one who came out on top the biggest at the beginning, but now you've got kind of that itch again to do something.
Yeah, I mean, that whole not killing people thing inside of a city is going to be really hard. But like I said, I've been working on it. I'm a better man, better dwarf now. So for some reason, they thought it would be wise to send me on the diplomatic side inside a library. So let's see how that works out.
Cool. And how did you like the fact that you knew a little bit before the rest of the group?
Yeah, that was cool.
Because it makes sense, because since he's the first one to arrive, we focused on his diplomacy, right? Because he's maintained Blasingdale diplomacy, he's open diplomacy with, Iron Oasis, Secret City, all these places, right? So when they realized they needed to preserve the book, they're like, well, we will travel overseas to Candlekeep and form a relationship with them. So Lewis already knew about the map. He already knew about all that stuff we talked about because that was integral to he knew right away when you guys were, whenever Wolverine and Alon were heading there, he knew about this because he was already there. Like literally, we'd already talked about it. The end of our little meetup the other day was talking about him going there. I thought it was kind of cool seeing that fold together. I had fun with the execution on this. Like honestly, I really like the idea of you come in on the motorcycle, Bean's not on his motorcycle.
Yeah, I got to find out more about that. That's pretty interesting.
Cool. Well, you got any final comments on that before we cut it and go backstage?
Yeah, man, I'm excited to keep rolling. I'm glad we got the band back together, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what you got for us.
Should be good. It should be good. The foreseeable sessions are, they're very compact. So most of them should be done in the session we do them.
Cool.
I don't know how long that'll go. There might be some that split between two, and then eventually you're going to get into something, depending on what happens, that will be kind of a longer, overarching thing. Put it in perspective. Candlekeep Mysteries, the book, gives me 17 adventures.
Damn, son.
And you guys have done, or you guys have heard less than one paragraph of one of them. You guys know that there's a chick there that didn't come out of her room, and then someone went to go check on her, and they didn't come back either. That's it. That's like 3 lines from the first paragraph. So that's cool. Yeah. Well, I had a lot of fun putting it together, and I'm glad you guys are on board. It's been awesome having you guys around 20 freaking sessions. And yep. So we're going to cut it, and we're going to go backstage. I know it was a shorter session for a Friday night, but I think it's an appropriate amount for starting.
Yeah.
All righty. Later, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Bye.